If you didn't notice, it's October, spooky season. I'm bringing you a nice, it's not nice, it's a creepy ghost paranormal story. I used to do these quite a lot until I realised I'd told all my stories. This one is one of my favourites. If you're into creepy things, then you'll enjoy this video, hopefully. If you're new to my channel and you enjoy things about Scotland, the outdoors, sometimes paranormal and other creepy things, sometimes mental health, sometimes periods and life, then you should subscribe. Okay, on to the ghost story. Before I started the job that I'm currently in, I used to work in an old hospital. It was built in the 1800s and I only found this out today, and I don't know why I didn't know this before, but in 1898 it was an infectious diseases hospital. Didn't know that. Kind of creepy. So very old building, really creepy looking building, and I worked in there. It was a temporary job, 3 months. I was a domestic assistant, so like I was a cleaner. I cleaned the building. I cleaned the building on my own at night. So from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock, Monday to Friday, I was in this building by myself. I got weird vibes from it immediately. Even if you look at it from the outside, it just looks haunted, right? Just from the offset, you're like, you look at that building and you think, you've got some ghosts. When I started, I used to work with this girl who was kind of showing me the ropes. I think it was like for the first week or something, she would just like work with me in the building, show me how everything went, where everything was, just the routine, the general routine of this, cleaning this building. So there was the main door and it had a big corridor, and I was working in a room off the side of this corridor. She was in another room. And as I was in this room, I heard footsteps coming down the corridor, so I thought maybe the boss had arrived in the building. I thought somebody had come in, called on her, and I said to her, did you hear those footsteps as someone came in? And she was like, no. But she also said herself that she's heard footsteps before in that building and you just get used to it. And I was like, that's not something that I'm ever going to get used to, but okay. So that was the first thing that happened, right? Weird footsteps in this building. Not something that I wanted to experience myself, but lo and behold, I was going to experience something creepier. Yeah. So now we'll move on to when I started working in this building completely by myself, which was great. When I worked in it, downstairs was like an office. There was drugs, kind of methadone drug rehabilitation bit. There was a GP, there was a dentist, it was like a bunch of different things. There was a kitchen, there was a bathroom, etc. Upstairs was just all offices. So I used to do the downstairs first because people would still be upstairs when I started work at 4, and they would maybe be there for like half an hour to an hour, and then they would all leave, and then I would go upstairs and start work there, because I didn't want to go upstairs while they were working and like start emptying their bins and stuff, because that would be annoying. So I remember this one day I was working downstairs, I was starting off, and I could still hear people up the stairs. I could hear doors slamming, I could hear people walking. People hadn't left yet. So it got to the point where I was like, right, it's getting a bit late now. That people, why are you still working? Go home. I remember going upstairs and there was no one there. And I was like, no, I heard people walking up here. I heard doors slamming up here, but there was no one there. And I got the fright of my life. I just ended up sitting downstairs on a chair in the kitchen like this. And I didn't clean. I was too scared to move. And that happened regularly. I used to hear footsteps upstairs. I would hear doors opening and closing, and I would assume people were there, and there never was anyone there. I just would hear noises and there would be no one there, and it freaked me out. I was working downstairs one day in the kitchen and I could hear the fire door rattling in the next room. So I went into the next room, there was nothing happening, and then I heard the fire door rattling in another room. So I'd go into that room, and it was like this sort of like consecutive thing where the fire door would rattle in one area and then it would move on to the next. And I was like, what the is going on here? I thought someone was trying to get in. I thought someone was rattling the door outside on the handle and trying to get into the building. So I freaked out. And then I realised, it clicked. The penny dropped when I realised that the handle was in the inside. Whatever was rattling the doors was on the inside with me, and my heart dropped, and I was like, nope, this is not happening. So again, sat, didn't move, was like this, nope, didn't enjoy that. And I remember telling my boss, and she just didn't believe me. She was like, it was probably just someone messing around outside. And then I was like, no, you don't understand, the handle's on the inside. she just wasn't getting it. Yeah, a few things like that happened quite often, like just hearing things upstairs when I was downstairs. It just was not good, it wasn't fun. And then I got moved to another building, a bigger building, was all one level, wasn't as old a building I don't think as that one. And I, again, 4 till 8, would clean this building completely by myself. And at 8 o'clock, my friend Steph was waiting for me outside the building, and because we were going to, it was a Friday night, I think we were going to go and hang out or whatever. I was kind of finishing off, turning the lights off and stuff, and then as I was leaving to lock up, Steph goes, "Are you in there by yourself?" And I said, "Yeah," and she's like, "I swear I saw something walk by the door behind you," and I was like, "Nope, no you didn't. You did not see anything like that. I'm by myself in this building. You're not going to tell me this because I will never work here. Not scared ever again." And then she was like, "Oh yeah, it must have just been a trick of the light or whatever." But I was like, she is a huge skeptic. I've actually got a video on my channel where she tells her story, even though she doesn't believe in ghosts, but there's no explanation for it, so you should watch that as well. I'll put a playlist down below of all my paranormal videos. Yeah, so she saw something walking past the door, but there was no one else there in that building. So yeah, that was fun. That's my work ghost stories. I can't really figure out what it was. Again, I'm a bit of a skeptic as well, so I always try and think rationally first, like what did I hear upstairs? There was no windows open, it wasn't human, there was no humans there to physically move the doors. The doors were sturdy, it's not as if they were light and could just open and close by themselves. It was an old building, so maybe the footsteps I heard were creaking. But again, I would hear like people walking on the stairs and stuff as well, so I don't know. What do you think it could be? Very weird, and it really freaked me out, and I never want to work in an old building by myself ever again. So yeah, a few of you might remember that story. I told it 5 or 6 years ago in a video, but I wanted to redo it because it's old now. This is a new time, it's 2021, you know. Again, I have a lot of creepy videos. I have a bunch of paranormal investigation videos which are really creepy, and again, I'm a skeptic, so I went into this with a rational mind, but weird things happened. And then I filmed an entire video with all the creepy things that happened from each investigation, and I specifically made that video so that I could describe and talk about it, but people watching that video are like, "Stop talking and just show us the..." And I'm like, no, you need an explanation, otherwise you're not going to know what the hell's going on. A lot of the comments are just, "Stop talking," and I'm like, no, you won't understand. You need the explanation, and that is why I made the video. So if you're interested in that, you should watch that. It is creepy. Like, a few things that happened were really, really weird. And I have a whole bunch of other videos as well if you're interested. I don't know whether to just do creepy, I was going to say spooky and creepy, videos for the entirety of October. I don't know, like each Sunday, like just do a creepy video, or if there's anything maybe like Scotland related that you want to know about that's creepy, maybe you can comment that. Let me know what else you want to see. I filmed all my paranormal stuff again anyway in the past, but I could tell you old stories again. I don't know. Let me know what you want to see. Tell me something creepy that's happened to you in the comments below. I have a Patreon page if you're interested. You can, I'll put the link here and down below if you're interested in that. I'm very active over in my social media if you're interested in following me on Twitter and Instagram. Always posting. Yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.